Have y'all ever wondered how to determine if a player is a buy low or a sell high? I keep getting them mixed up, but yes, you want to buy low and theoretically sell high on certain players. Well, I could come on here and just tell you this is a player you should buy, this is a player you should sell. But today, I'm not going to do that. I might do that in the future some, but today I want to teach y'all how to fish so y'all can feed yourself. So let's jump into a player comparison tool that I love that I made, so I'm a little biased. But it's completely free. It's on Dynasty Daddy, and I will just walk you through all the stuff it has and different ways you can use it. So let's not waste any more time and jump on into it. Okay, cool. So this is the page that you'll land on when you come to my site, which I made. So if you do have any questions, you can just ask me. You can log into your league, do all that stuff. I'm not showing that stuff off today. If we go into the sidebar here, player comparison, this is what we're going to focus on today. And what you can see is, let me make me a little smaller, is by default, it will just pick two random players that are similarly valued based on your fantasy market up here. And kind of track out their value for the past X number of months, right? So you can do 1 month, you could do 3 or 6, you could do 3, you could do all time, which goes way back till 2021. So that's kind of a great way to just see certain player values. You can also change the markets. So Dynasty Daddy, we have a ton of daily updating fantasy markets, as we call them. We have 6 dynasty ones, and we have 6, I can count, 6 redraft ones as well. And you can also import your own in here. We're not going to touch on that today. So anyway, if we toggle between them, you'll see, they change. You can see the values, hover across them, and kind of track different things, right? You also will see down here, they'll add the player to the table down here. You can download, export this data for external use. It will also give you kind of the all-time low value, all-time high, 90-day low, and 30-day low. And then currently here I'll have their value. This is actually perfect because you see one has a snowflake, one has a fire. If it has a fire, it means it's a 3-month high that this value is. If it's a snowflake, it's their 3-month low. So it's an easy way to say, oh, wow, like Sam Laporta right now, according to Pro Football Network, Sam Laporta is at his cheapest he's ever been. Maybe it's a buy now opportunity. You can see he's gone down 36% in the past month, right? So it's a big value drop there. And you can also compare it across different markets. So you can be like, okay, here, like on Keep Trade Cut, he's a lot closer. He is still at his 30-day low. So you can kind of say, oh, wow, like not multiple markets are agreeing that Sam Laporta's value has dropped tremendously in the past month. So there's more you can do here. Obviously, if you are in a 1 QB league, you can toggle Superflex, non-Superflex. We also have enable groups. So this is for kind of a special use case. So say if you are making a trade, right? And if I'm saying Sam Laporta and Derrick Henry for Amon-Ra St. Brown, right? So here's a trade. What it will do is it'll bundle group 1 and group 2, right? So we have group 1 players. So these are 2 players in group 1, and then group 2 is 1 player. And you can kind of track the value of like a package of players instead of just one. So you could say, what are the top, we can do the top 3 quarterbacks, right? Let me clear this up real quick. So top 3 quarterbacks compared to the top 3 wide receivers in terms of value over the past 6 months, right? So we have, if you invested in a top 3 quarterback, you weren't looking too good until recently. And I mean, to be honest, it's because Jaden Daniels' value has shot up a lot. If we pick someone that probably has more consistent value, like a Joe Burrow, it'll look different, right? Because Daniels was probably valued I think he's around QB 12 in the offseason. And now he's like QB 2 or 3. But now you see this is a little bit more similar to what you would expect. Amon-Ra, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, just recently, today, have passed the top 3 quarterbacks in terms of value. So it's an interesting way to track different packages or trades. Not really something that is always useful, but something that can be fun. Additional things that you can use is in here. You can go, like, obviously you saw I added some players, so you can search players. Like, say we want to go Aaron Jones, right? You can put Aaron Jones on here. So you can search individual players. You can filter based on positions, all of that, only rookies. And we also have an advanced query option. So this is for all the junkies out there, where you can come in here. We have all these different fields you want, right? And you can basically build custom queries that will update the tables and all the metrics. So if we look in here, we have position equal quarterback. And then, like, let's say if we have position equal quarterback, and where is there a month? The month change in Superflex value is greater than 9%, right? And then what we'll do is we can set how many we want to return, right? So we'll get the 5, and then we'll sort them by fantasy points. So whoever will get the top 5 fantasy quarterbacks that that their fantasy value has increased by 9% in the past month. That's a mouthful. And then we also you can have this selected. It will replace what you currently have. So it will replace Aaron Jones. If we remove this, it will just add it to Aaron Jones. So anyway, let's run the query. And now we can add these 5 players. It will replace Aaron Jones. And you'll see these are players that all in the past 30 days have had their value increase by over 9% and are scoring the most fantasy points, right? So Jalen Hurts, Herbert, Bo Nix, Tua, and Jameis Winston, right? So then you can kind of come in here and identify players that are really rising quickly and players that are kind of falling. You can do the reverse of that as well. Another interesting thing I recently added is if you come to here, if you click this markets tag up here, this will now kind of filter into an individual player. I'm going to filter out Draft Sharks because I just recently added them on November 1st. So we don't have all the data. It kind of skews the chart. But basically what we can do is now you'll see Justin Herbert selected up here. And this will show you the breakdown of every single market that we support, right? So now for just Justin Herbert, we can see his keep trade cut, his Dynasty Daddy ADP, his Dynasty process, Dynasty Superflex. I guess technically that's Fantasy Navigator now, Pro Football Network, and Draft Sharks, right? So then we can kind of track trends across all markets. So we can see keep trade cut kind of is outpacing the rest of the markets based on Justin Herbert recently. But, you know, other ones like Dynasty process, this one is Dynasty Daddy ADP, etc., all are within a similar range, whereas Pro Football Network seems to be undervaluing Justin Herbert by a lot. So it's a good way to kind of like track different markets, compare different markets, and just see kind of macro trends on players. And then if you come up here, you can just toggle different ones, right? This is Jameis Winston across all markets, Tua across all markets, right? And you can see Tua's is kind of crazy, where a lot of dynasty outlook of different markets is not looking highly on Tua, whereas, vice versa is like keep trade cut is definitely warming up to Tua a little bit more. And this also works for redraft as well. But like here's Jalen Hurts, Bo Nix, etc. So I mean, this is not the most complicated tool, but it's something that I think people don't really know about a ton. It's a great tool to just research things, understand value, understand the markets a little more, about what people are thinking for players. Obviously, using it in conjunction with other tools, right, that can be found on Dynasty Daddy can be very helpful. But I just wanted to kind of walk through everything here, especially because I know next week, I'm filming this before Thanksgiving, but next week is Thanksgiving week. So I'm not going to be able to really, and I'm going to be with family that whole week. So I'm not going to really be able to have time to hop on, put something together for that, and then release it next week. So I wanted to hop on, go through a lot of, just kind of show off a lesser used tool, just so we have some video documentation on how to use it, different ways to use it, and all of that. And I figured that would be best, instead of being like, oh, here's rankings that aren't valid anymore, or a different take. So I will continue to do the take videos as well. So again, I appreciate you sticking through the end. If you made it this far, I would appreciate if you like, comment, subscribe, all the YouTube terminology. And again, I appreciate the support, and I'll talk to you next time.